Hi, Kirito here. I'm surprised that no one has made a topic on this before, and in this video I want to talk about the first 5 anime series that I've seen, and not the ones where it just happens to be on TV, like Pokemon, and you just happen to tune in but you don't actually follow it. If you do follow it, then so be it, but when I watched Pokemon it just like happened to be on. I watched it in the East, so like Hong Kong, it's not Yu-Gi-Oh! It'll be like Doraemon, the blue guy. I've never actually seen any of the episodes. In this list I will also not include cartoons, so Avatar is out of the question, Atomic Betty, Lilo and Stitch are all out of the question. This is just for anime that I have gone actively out to watch the anime series from beginning to end. So, I started watching anime when I was in year 5/6. So that would have made me around 10, 11, 12 years of age. I did watch, of course, Pokemon and Dickert before, but I didn't actively watch that anime. The first one I watched was Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's about a 14-year-old boy called Shinji Ikari, who gets recruited by his father Gendo Ikari to control a really tall mecha robot. Well, all mechas are huge. It's called the Evangelion Unit 1, which is a robot designed to defeat angels, which is at the time wiping out humanity at a fast rate in 2015. I was introduced to Neon Genesis Evangelion by my cousin who lives in Holland, and I was actually visiting them, and I sat and they were watching it, and I thought, well, at that time I really liked RuneScape, but I actually used to call it Runescape, so sad. But I didn't have a computer with me, and so I just decided to watch anime with them. At the beginning of the series I thought it was just a darker version of Power Rangers, so basically an action series. But now that I think about it, it's more of a psychological drama as the series progresses on. In the second half, and especially the movie, it goes into some psychological stuff, like a lot. And for a 10-year-old mind who has no clue about anything and innocent, there were some scenes which just didn't make sense to me at the time, and I just did not like the series. So one thing was I couldn't comprehend why the penguin was sick in here. While I was looking through to find clips of it, I realised he was sick because he drank beer. Another one was in episode 10, where Shinji was blushing when he heard girls in the girls' side of the onsen, and he crouched down in the water and blushed, and someone said it expanded, and like, what? I was like, what expanded? Now that I'm older, I understand it was a sensual innuendo, and yeah, I think I was too young when I watched that show. Currently, I have no plans of wanting to rewatch that show because I didn't really like it when I was younger, but I might get round to it. Who knows? Yeah, and because I didn't understand it, I also got really bored. Especially in the movie called The End of Evangelion. My mind was like, what is this scene with humans becoming red orbs and spinning around the earth and joining this bigger orb that is held by Rei in the sky, and she has wings. My 10-year-old mind could not comprehend what that was about. And even to this day, I can't actually think of a reason why they would do that, or any philosophical reason to why they would do that. Maybe I have to rewatch the series to actually understand it. That was my first anime experience, and because of it, unfortunately, I did not continue to watch anime after this. Yes, there's many different types of anime, but at that time I didn't know much about anime, so you can think of it like anime was a general thing. Like, you have MOBAs. If you're bored of Dota, you're probably going to be bored of LOL. That was what went through my mind. I didn't like Neon Genesis, so I probably won't like any other anime series because it's most likely going to be something similar. I didn't think that anime would be so big that it would have different types of genres. So yeah. My second series was Tenjin Toppa Gurren Lagann. So currently all of humanity lives underground in these small compounds or villages. These villages are nowhere bigger than 100 people per compound. And in one particular village, underground, lives Kamina and Simo, or Simon, if you want to pronounce it in the English way. Kamina claims he actually came from above, and from the surface, and keeps on telling everyone we should try to aim to go above ground. It's beautiful, it's the best thing rather than living underground. And he claims that he's from the surface. He's also a very boisterous character, fun and comedic. And Simon is a timid young boy who is an orphan after his parents died in an earthquake, which then his unit or his home collapsed, and that's why his parents died. So he's an orphan. In the first episode, after the initial introduction, their village is attacked by a robot which is controlled by a beastman in a surprise attack from the surface. And Simon and Camina fend off this robot and kick it out of the compound with the help of Yoko, a red-haired girl who uses a gun. How did Simon and Camina do this? Well, Simon, while doing his daily digging, which is what the village does to expand, he came across a spiral key, and he also came across a machine which happens to luckily have the same hole for the key. So it's a mysterious robot that's underground, and he is able to control it and defeat the surprise attacker. Because it came through the surface, the ceiling of the compound broke, and now the sky is completely in view. And after the attack, the team went off on a journey to defeat other beastmen, increase their team size, and come across newer technologies and other people. And in the second arc, which is like from episode 17 onwards, their enemy is the anti-spirals. This is an anime series that wanted me to watch more anime, which led on to the third one, soon after I finished Dickert again. It was also the first series to make me cry. I did not cry, I did not shed a single tear in Neon Genesis. Again, for the reason that I did not understand anything, so yeah. I don't want to say any spoilers, but I did cry on episode 8, and the title of that episode was Later Buddy. So yeah. This anime series also gave me you can sort of call it a life lesson, but I did not know that TV series and anime series came out on a weekly basis. So I thought they released it all in one batch, like Neon Genesis, I watched it all in one go, and TCGL, when I watched it, they were already like by episode 22 or 23 or something like that. And so I watched it all in one batch with my sister. When we got to like episode 23, we were like, what the heck? Where's the rest of the episodes? And it wasn't until I asked my cousin, who showed me Neon Genesis Evangelion, that he told me that, you know, that anime comes out on a weekly basis and the episodes aren't out yet. And just to double check, I went into the Wikipedia page and looked, and I saw the original air date come up. There were dates that we haven't gone past, so yeah. An awkward situation of this anime series was of this scene in episode 6. My parents walked in and my mum was like, what the heck are you watching? And I didn't understand what was wrong with it, I was too young. And now that I think about it, it's a bunch of opais bumping up and down and Camina and Simon gliding across them, so of course it would be quite inappropriate. Yeah, that was really awkward. The third series that I watched was Zero no Tsukaima. In a fantasy parallel world to the Earth where you have two moons, one is pink, the other one is blue, elves and nobles who have magic. There is a noble called Louise Françoise de la Villiers, who has zero magic ability at the beginning of the series whatsoever. Anytime she tries to create a spell or say a spell or use a spell, it always ends up in an explosion, which happened in the first one, and she was about to be actually expelled. As the series goes on, you do find out that there's a reason why she can't control the other magic. She can't control the other elements, so the elements are earth, fire, air and water? 4, I think. Pentagon. Yeah, so the fifth is void, or in her case she's a void mage. She is in the second year, and with her fellow mages they go through a summoning event where they summon a familiar. Louise obviously wished for a almighty, powerful familiar like Tabitha and her dragon, and Kirke with her salamander. But she got a human, Higara Saito, from he was actually summoned from Earth, so there's parallel worlds. He came from Earth, not from the planet of this fantasy world, and looks like a commoner. Louise was absolutely humiliated and but she had no choice. The summoning spell is considered a sacred ritual, so she couldn't resummon it, and so she was stuck with Saito. And so begins their adventure in this world of Tristania or something like that. Great series. There are 4 seasons. The first, second and third came out actually quite shortly after each other. The 4th one came out in 2012, I believe. This series was originally a light novel series with, currently, to this day, 21 volumes out, with another one planned. Unfortunately, as I mentioned on Twitter, I didn't realise it, but about 3 years ago, the writer, Noboru Yamaguchi, actually passed away due to advanced cancer. He actually died before the 21st volume was published, so there was only 20 volumes out, but the fans wanted the series completed, and his family felt like his work should be completed. It was his first piece of writing, I think, that was published. The 21st one was published. I think he wrote some of it, but it was finished by another author, and then this 22nd one is still planned. The thing was that Noboru had actually told the publisher how he wanted it to end, so they have an idea. So it's just writing the story because they already know what's going to happen. One thing I really liked about this series was the harem element, actually. The thing is, there are instances where you have the cliched harem, so a guy accidentally falls into the opais of a girl or something like that, and then he gets slapped or whatnot. But that just accounts for half of them. The other half, Saito actually actively goes out and shows his interest in broad daylight, which is so comedic and so funny. It's not as funny as series where it's all cliches and you're just like... But then, I guess some guys, or some girls, depending on who's watching it, really like that aspect of the series. It also makes his character more funny and stands out more. Again, this series was the second series that made me cry, twice actually. One in the 2nd season and one... No! Both in the 2nd season. Yeah, both in the 2nd season. Yeah. I cried twice in the 2nd season. That's the only time I cried in this series. In the end, everyone lived happily ever after, even the people who I cried for. The 4th series that I saw was Hayate no Gotoku, or Hayate the Combat Butler. There is a young boy called Hayate Ayasaki, and he, with his sister, was abandoned by their parents after they accumulated a huge debt of a grand total of over 150 million yen. And was sold off to the Yakuza, or the Japanese Mafia. He manages to get away from them, and he bumps into a rich girl called Nagi Sanzeni? I just call her Nagi. Hayate actually attempts to kidnap her and ask for a ransom so that he can pay off the debt. But due to his kind-heartedness, Nagi actually thinks that he's confessing love to her, and after Hayate saved Nagi from actual kidnappers, Nagi then hires Hayate to be her personal butler. This show is more of a comedy and parody show, so they often throw in, like, Nagi is pretending to be some other character in some other anime series, similar to what Gintama does. This series didn't stand out to me much. It was a comedy parody shows. Yes, they are funny, but I quickly do forget about them, so I don't remember much about the series. Though my sister told me that I did have a phase for this anime, so I guess at that time I really liked it. Series number 5 is Zammed. There is this island called Senten Island, and a student lives there called Akiyuki Takehara. He lives with his mother Fusa, and on that island also his father Ryuzo is the town doctor, but he lives in a different apartment because he's separated. His mother and father are separated. One day, Akiyuki takes his father's lunch made by Fusa, and then goes to school after arriving at Ryuzo's house. Just before he gets off the bus, there is an explosion, and this explosion causes a mysterious light which goes into Akiyuki's arm. Yeah, his forearm, I think, where the Hiroko is. Yeah, I think it's his forearm. And this person who made the explosion, or detonated the bomb, you can sort of call it, turned him, with the aid of the mysterious light, into a Zammed. he has no time to understand what happens, and he is thrown into a fight to save his quote-quote girlfriend. At the beginning they're not really girlfriends. Haru. He then wins and then is found by a girl called Nakayami, a girl on a postal ship called the Zambani, and asks him, do you want to live and whatnot. So, but he said yes, and he is turned back into a human, and then takes him aboard the postal ship, and so begins their adventure. This series was actually, I think it was exclusive to the PS3. I don't think the PS4 actually came out then. Unfortunately, it has a very predictable storyline. Because of its predictable storyline, I always think of it like a classic or something. The art is magnificent, and the feels. Yeah, if you don't cry by the end of this series, you're not human. And this series, along with Zero no Tsukaima, was the first 2 series that I could actually listen to the soundtrack without anything. So yeah, the 5 series, I will say again, the 5 series that I watched in order were Neon Genesis Evangelion, Teijin to Gurren Lagann, Zero no Tsukaima, Hayate no Gotoko, or Hayate no Combat Battler, and Zammed of the Lost Memories. Put down in the comments below what were the first few anime series that's made you to start watch anime. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike it, you know what to do. Subscribe for more anime related content, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Kiri Future out. And today I'm going to MCM Expo, which is a biannual event that is similar to Anime Expo, except it's not just on anime, it's on Western comics and games and esports.